Welcome back to episode 76 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. Same two cast of characters as always, myself and Kyle. We got some topics that we want to discuss today. Baseball season is, I don't want to say it's flying by, but the first month has gone by really quick. But before we get into the topics of what we want to discuss today, Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. It's been a rocky road for my Yankees a little bit recently, but other than that, you kind of hit it right on the head. This first month of baseball, man, it's going quick, and I feel like it's only going to get quicker from here on out. So we're geared in. This is the best time of the year. Other than that, man, I can't complain at all. How about you, man?
I'm doing good. Kind of battling a little cold here. I hope my voice sounds okay. But other than that, I'm fine. I know it's the day after, but shout out, Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Shout out to
Oh,
all your
100,
moms. Hopefully you took care of her yesterday.
100%.
Yeah. All right, the topics that we got on hand today. Paul Skenes made his debut on Saturday. I got to see a little bit of that. Um, Padres Padres Dodgers played over the weekend. I really don't want to talk about this because this past weekend is the fear, pretty much every year, but the fear going into October. Padres took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers in San Diego, and then the Guardians. First, it got leaked about their City Connect jerseys or uniforms, and then it was confirmed double down the other day, and we had some strong opinions about it. But and then obviously, of course, Kyle will do his Yankees and stuff. So
Always.
always, yes. So we'll start at the top, I guess. Paul Skenes made his debut on Saturday. I'm trying to find his line as we speak, which I should have done that earlier. That's my mistake. But there we go. Overall, I mean, it was electric in Pittsburgh.
Oh
I
yeah.
put it on the MLB TV like a half hour before the game started, and those fans were ready to go. It looked like a dark, depressing day in Pittsburgh. It was cloudy and stuff, but you would have never known. Those Pittsburgh Pirates fans were so happy. But Paul Skenes made his debut. He got struck out 7 guys in 4 innings, and he had 17 pitches over 100 miles an hour. That's insane. Um, Electric stuff. Looked good to me. I know he gave up runs and stuff. I know 2 of them he didn't get. He wasn't on the mound for, but he put them on base, and he got credited for them. But I think this kid's gonna be good. It's not a hot take, but I really like what I saw in his first start, and we all saw all we had heard about in his minor league starts. It didn't even look like he was trying. He had like less than an earned run down there, and he was striking guys left and right. And you knew it was only a matter of time that he was going to get called up. And he did, and I thought he ran into some trouble late, and that's why he got knocked out of the game early. But overall, I think he did pretty good. 7 strikeouts against a major league lineup like the Chicago Cubs. It's pretty impressive to me. So hopefully he can build off of it, and I think Pittsburgh's going to be set here for the next couple of years.
Yeah, no, I definitely couldn't agree more with you. I've been following this guy for quite some time. A few weeks back, I made a video on it if we would see Paul Skenes in Major League Baseball this year. And in fact, we did. And I think overall, it's got to be impressive to not only Pirates fans, but to the organization itself. They got a young core out there, and they're really trying to build something. I like what they're doing with this pitching staff. I think Mitch Keller, he's got ace material kind of stuff, but he hasn't all put that together yet. And Paul Skenes, I mean, he was hyped and deservedly so. A lot of people were kind of comparing him to Steven Strasburg, which may be unfair to do. I mean, come on, but Skenes did his thing, and the biggest takeaway that I took from his debut was that fastball.
Yep.
I've been watching this kid for quite some time now, and his fastball is electric. And he builds all of his other repertoire, all of his other pitches off of that fastball, and it works so well for him. And he pitches over 100 miles per hour consistently. We talked about this before. That's what these major league teams want to see out of pitchers. Guys who can throw over into the three digits and guys who can give you those strikeout numbers. And that's exactly what Skenes does. It's extremely impressive to watch him do what he did against a major league club. And this is no pushover either. This is the Chicago Cubs. I mean, you have some big names in that lineup. You got Suzuki, you got Bellinger, you got Wisdom, you got Madrigal, you got
Bush.
Bush. I mean, all these guys. These are no well, before he went out, you got Contreras. These are guys who are not just pushover in the lineup. I mean, this is a team who's contending for the NL Central. I liked what I saw out of him, and I think it's only going to build off of his first start. And like I said, that's the key word here. It's his first start. You know, for him to go out there and do what he did, it's got to be a positive in everybody's books. It has to be. I don't see a world where this kid doesn't grow into a top arm because I think he has that potential. A few years down the line here, we could definitely be talking about him in that top 5, top 10 pitchers in baseball category. He has the type of potential.
And just looking at the schedule right now, it looks like his next start again is going to be against the Cubs, but this time it's going to be in Wrigley. So I'm sure that'll be fun. I don't know. I'm sure you saw that stat over the weekend too that Andrew McCutchen, I think, has been a part of 3 of these now. I think. Damn, I'm not gonna try and name the other 2 off the top of my head, but
I believe wasn't Garrett Cole one of them?
yeah, Cole was one of them, and then
Was he in Strasburg?
I think it was Strasburg. Yeah, that was a comparison. Yeah. That's why. Yeah, it was Strasburg, and then obviously Skenes. So I would love to know. I mean, obviously, everybody remembers Strasburg's debut. That was like one of the greatest things ever. So I'm sure. I wonder if he had to rank the debuts. I'm sure. I would love to know what Kutch would say. But yeah, I hope this kid continues. That would be interesting. Yeah, I wonder what he. Obviously, like, might be a little biased just because he's on the Pirates right now. So, but yeah. I mean, and he was going up against Strasburg. At least the other 2, I think they were on the same. Maybe not the Cole one, but
yeah.
Yeah, so good for him. Keep it going, and it was fun to see all the coverage too that he got, especially the team got too. You know, they had it. They had the game for free. Everybody can watch it on MLB TV. It was on MLB Network. You saw a ton of stuff, leading up to the game on Twitter, Instagram. That's what baseball should be doing with their stars and guys making their debuts and their up-and-coming stars. Market them. You saw what they did earlier when Jackson Holliday made his debut. They did the same thing with Paul Skenes, and I'm so happy. That's what baseball should be doing. Market your players, market your stars, because they're what bring people into the seats. And you saw that again on Saturday.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right on that. I mean, this is the way to grow the game. You put these like big events in prime time. I mean, you're gonna get viewers. Even if there's non-baseball fans, if they see a guy who they've been hearing in the news, like Paul Skenes, for example, seeing him in the news, all the hype around him, they're gonna tune in. They want to see what this kid's made of and what all the hype is about. And I also want to say that I think this is such a beautiful thing for Pittsburgh Pirates fans. This fan base is one of those fan bases that have been through absolute shit in the last however many years. They have an ownership group who really doesn't want to spend. They have a front office who's kind of making bonehead decisions all the time. I feel for this fan base. So when they get moments like this, and this is another thing that I want to bring up too. It's like these owners need to take note of this. If you give them a reason to be in the seats, they're gonna show up. that's what we've been screaming with the Oakland Athletics for the last 2, 3 years since this whole thing has gone on. You put a reason on the field, like Paul Skenes, you're gonna get the show out. And that's exactly what Pirates fans did. And if that doesn't open the eyes to the ownership group and the front office as a whole to bring more guys in to fill these seats, I mean, I would love to know the attendance record for Paul Skenes' debut versus whatever other. You could pick a random game, any other game this season, and I can guarantee you that it's probably more on the Paul Skenes day, just because of the hype around it. And that's what, like, as fans of big markets, you and I, we're not used to that. We always have a reason to be in the seats.
Yeah.
So I never had to deal with that bullshit of having an ownership group that doesn't spend. Yes, listen, the Yankees don't spend in the best way all the time. I mean, we've seen that over the last few years, but they always still give us a reason to put us in the seats. And that's what I want these lower market teams to do. Look at the Kansas City Royals this year, man. They are one of those teams that went out and spent a boatload of money, and now they're being rewarded for it by putting fans in the seats. That's what I want the Pirates to do, and all these other teams that are kind of at the bottom of the barrel. You give them a reason to get in the seats, they're going to show up. And that's exactly what we saw on Skenes' debut. I mean, that place was rocking, man. It was electric. It was so cool to see. And Pittsburgh is one of those franchises that is filled with history. So for them to come out like this, like, we know that there's fans there. And Pittsburgh fans can be some of the best fans. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, you need to start putting product on the field for the fans to come out. Because for Paul Skenes, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and the Baltimore Orioles are the perfect example of this. They were horrible
100%.
3-4 years ago. Got the right guys in the building. Yes, they had to lose. Yes, they had to pick high in the draft. But you know what? They made the right draft picks for the most part. And they developed guys well through the system. And now they're all making an impact on the team. And you saw what the Orioles did last year. 100 wins. Champs in the American League East. And they're competing again maybe for bigger things this year. So there's a blueprint there for these small market teams to be successful. And you're seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. And also kind of just building off of the Orioles here, they brought in a guy like Corbin Burns.
Yep.
I mean, that's what happens when you get an ownership in there that cares and is willing to put a good product on the field, whether that be through the draft like the Orioles did. And now what they're doing is they're gonna become a more of a bigger market for some of these free agents who are hitting, free agency for the first time in their career. They're like, you know what? We love what Baltimore's doing down there. Let's go there. Let's see what we can do down here. And I feel like a team like Pittsburgh, that could very well be a team that could do the same damn thing as the Diamondbacks, as the Orioles, and the Kansas City Royals. What they've been doing, the Pirates can easily do that too, and match the same kind of intensity that their fans are giving every single night.
Absolutely, 100% agree. Moving on, kind of a tough weekend for the Dodgers. They come off of this high of a great homestand. They went 6-0. They swept the Braves. That was impressive. And then they beat up on the crappy Marlins, which is, you're supposed to do that. And then they go out on a little. They're in the middle of a road trip right now. They got 3 games starting tonight in San Francisco. The real rivals, by the way. Excited for that. And then they come off a weekend in San Diego where they lose 2 out of 3. And to be honest with you, it didn't look that great. They won the second game on Saturday. Teoscar Hernandez had a big grand slam in the 6th inning, so that was huge. Which, by the way, before I get in my other points, Teoscar Hernandez is quietly top 5 signing, maybe even top 3 signings of the offseason. He is in the running with guys like Ohtani, with guys like Yamamoto, with guys like Sota Imanaga. Teoscar's right up there in terms of signings. Every one of these teams in baseball could have signed him at any point. Free agent, somebody could have taken him. Dodgers said, hey, we'll take him for 1 year. $11 million. He said, sure. And it's paid off. And the way that he's performing right now, he could very easily be a starter for the All-Star team in a couple months. If not, he's going to make the team if
Yeah.
he continues to produce like this. So that's been a beautiful sight to see, and the Dodgers need that passion in the dugout. You've seen that. He's kind of getting guys out of his shell. He's throwing seeds at Ohtani. He's throwing seeds at Betts. You know, he's bringing some passion and energy in that dugout, and I love to see that. And on top of it, he's performing in his own. So nice to see that. Now let's get to the bad stuff. This is the reason why I'm so hesitant, for the postseason time to come in, 5 months or whatever. They didn't hit this weekend. Outside of Saturday, which they didn't even hit that much either. They didn't hit that much. I think they only got 13 hits the entire weekend. And they run in. I don't know what happens, but ever since Yu Darvish put on another uniform after 2017, Dodgers can't hit him for whatever goddamn reason. He turns into Pedro Martinez every time he steps on the field against the Dodgers. And it was again last night. He had another solid 7 innings or 6 innings. Dodgers couldn't touch him. He had a perfect game going into the 5th inning. And it took a Pajes walk and a Kike base hit to break that. A little boot base hit, I may add. But this is the thing that scares every Dodger fan. And the thing that is most concerning, there's no way you can fix it. You just have to pray and hope that not everybody goes cold at the exact same time. And that's what happened over the weekend. Mookie had a bad series. Freddie had an okay. Ohtani, okay. He was out Sunday with tightness in his back. He's back in the lineup tonight. But this is the thing that's concerning. I know how well this team could play. And while I don't need it right now in May, this is just glimpses of what we've been seeing in October the last 2 years. This is exactly the same reason why we lost to San Diego 2 years ago. Could not hit. Bullpen was fantastic. We got good starting pitching, but the guys 1 through 9 could just not hit. And that was the reason why the Padres took 2 out of 3. And Walker Buehler, easy. Can we get, this guy has just had 2 surgeries. He's been out for 2 years. Can we ease up on Walker Buehler? Can we give him some time to develop back again and ramp up? I know the command is not there. He's kind of all over the place. And I know he's throwing a lot of fastballs middle in, and guys are kind of teeing off on that right now. But he's only pitched 7 innings in 2 years. Can we give him a break? I'll start worrying about him if he's still pitching like this in July. If he's healthy and the velocity's still up there. But overall, I don't want to say disappointing because, listen, it's the beginning of May, middle of May. I'm not going to, there's still 120 games left. I'm not going to go insane. But it's concerning. And it's like, it sucks because if a couple guys in the bottom of the order and a couple guys at the top, if they could just not all go cold at once, Dodgers could win that series. Because the Padres, they didn't play that great either. They won Friday night 2-1 on a Luis Suarez base hit, which he's quickly becoming the Dodger killer now. And then yesterday they didn't do much. They only got 3 or 4 runs, and 2 of them were solo shots, and one of them was a sac fly. So, again, I'm not concerned, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And this is the thing that is going to scare me to death when October 1st comes around. I really mean that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Jesus, I went on for a while there.
These are the things that make baseball so interesting, right? Because you have a team like the Padres who are obviously not at the level that the Dodgers are. But because they play so much and because they're so used to each other, you never know what's going to happen. And that's exactly what happens in these divisional games. And we saw it over the weekend. That's really what it comes down to. And the fact that the Dodgers, like you said, it seemed like a lot of guys went cold at once, and that's not going to play in October. Because once that comes, and especially with the Dodgers, man, they have a lot of added pressure on them. With the signing of Ohtani and the absolutely ridiculous amount of money that they've spent this offseason, they are looked at as a team that can beat anybody. And when you look at the product on the field, that's how that should be. But when it comes down to it, you got to remember baseball is a game of you absolutely have no idea what the hell is going to happen. And I think that's the beauty in it. It is so hard to win a World Series nowadays. I don't give a shit if you spend $1 billion, 600 million, 700 million. I don't care what it is. It is so hard to win a World Series this year, or I'm sorry, in general. And when you look at this series, I think that really just shows of just how much it really is like that. And the Padres, they're not a pushover team, but at the same time, when you go toe to toe against the Dodgers, I mean, the Dodgers should be winning these series at least. I mean, that's what it comes down to, especially a team that they're so familiar with, like the Padres. Me personally, as an outsider looking in on the Dodgers situation, I wouldn't necessarily be concerned, but it is definitely something to take note of. And these are things that like Dave Roberts and company, the coaching staff, they need to have some sort of game plan because you need to go into these series and these games saying to yourself, listen, we know what we're capable of, but we also know what they can do to us. We've seen it time and time again. And the Padres, when they went out and got Luis Ariz, this is a team that is kind of scary a little bit because you absolutely have no idea what the hell AJ Preller is going to do at any given moment. Like when we're sitting here recording this podcast at 8 o'clock at night, he could very easily go out and just get some guy who you had no idea was even on the market. That's the way the Padres kind of roll, and that kind of worries me a little bit for their divisional opponents when it comes to like the trade deadline. Because if the Padres sneak in into October, that's the kind of team that you got to watch out for because they're a wild card, man, and you never know what's going to happen. And I think that's exactly what we saw over the weekend. Obviously, it's not a positive for Dodger fans and for the Dodgers as a whole, but like you said, we're in the middle of May here. That you got plenty of more games to really figure out the Padres, and that's also another thing that you can look at and say to yourself as a Dodger fan, it's like, we're gonna see these guys again, and we can have their number next time. So,
Yeah, and I think Dodger, and I think I'm panicking too because we've been so used to having their number in the regular season
yeah,
that they split the two games in Korea. They came out here to LA the second homestand of the year and they lost 2 out of 3, and it wasn't pretty either. And then we go to San Diego and they lose 2 out of 3 again. So I'm not used to this. I'm used to the Dodgers beating up on San Diego, and I'm used to being 6-1 at this point over them, and now I think they're beating us like 4-3 or something in the season series, whatever. But currently have the wild card standings in front of me. San Diego has lost the last spot. They have the final spot, and you've seen what the Phillies did, and you see what the Diamondbacks did last year. They're probably telling themselves, "Hey, we can just get in. Anything can happen." I'm
yep,
sure the Padres would love to go to Dodger Stadium in the second week of October for a division series. I'm sure they would
playing
sign
with
up for
house
that
money.
right now. Yep,
Yep.
playing with house money. I'm sure they'd take that. I wouldn't, but don't we play the Marlins again? Can we play the Rockies? Can we do that? Let's do that. That's
See,
more
I mean,
fun.
that's I just think like that's just the beauty of baseball, man. I mean, you get a team they're obviously not a stacked team, but they got guys on this team they can ball, man. I mean, you got Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis. Those are the two guys at the top of the lineup. They can do whatever they want. They are those caliber type of players. But then you have they have such a good supporting cast of players, which I think is so important. I think it's so vital to team success nowadays. You have a Luis Ariz who can get on base, and then you got all these guys behind him who can pop him in. I mean, they're loaded with that. And they also have guys who you wouldn't expect to make much of an impact. Jake Cronenworth is killing it this season. I mean, these are guys who you kind of write off at the beginning of the season, and then when it comes time to play, they're showing out. And I understand, like, and like even the pitching staff, man. I like what they have with that pitching staff. They kind of revamped it. Michael King's been a dog out there for them.
Yep.
I
Yankees
mean,
legend.
with that, he definitely is. No disrespect to Mike King, but that trade with Juan Soto, they got rid of generational player, but guess what? They got a bunch of like role players. They got a bunch of supporting cast that can complement the guys that they already have in the lineup and in the pitching rotation. And that's the type of team, once October reaches, you never know what's going to happen. You can easily have Michael King go out there and give you 7 scoreless, and Yu Darvish can do the same damn thing the night after. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. So this Padres team, man, we were kind of writing them off just because of the division they were in, and you never know what's going to happen. But they're not a pushover. That's what it comes down to. And a lot of these.
And by the way, they look really good right now for not re-signing Josh Hader.
They do.
Robert Suarez has kind of put himself into that closer role. Automatic so far. He has a 0.49 ERA. And he's 2-0. And he's basically automatic every time he gets the Dodgers. He's always automatic against us.
So it works.
They look pretty good. They look pretty good not re-signing Josh Hader. So
100%.
yeah. All right, I'm done. No more Padres. That's enough. That I'm done.
One last thing here.
You want me to bring them down? There's only one game over 500. There, I feel better.
There you go.
They're 22
Perfect.
and 21. There, I feel a lot better now.
That bullpen too, man. I mean, you kind of touched on it a little bit. They got some guys in there. My old friend Wandy Peralta, he's killing it out there. He's doing his thing. They got some guys, and it's going to be interesting to see how this Padres team finishes out into October. Maybe, you never know.
If the Diamondbacks can get their shit together, I hope both of them kill each other for that last spot. In the
Limping in the Dodger Stadium.
Yes, limping in the Dodger Stadium. Darvish is not 100%. Gallen's not 100%. I'm hoping for that, but that's probably unrealistic. Moving on. Cleveland Guardians released their City Connect jerseys. I'm going to be upfront and straight about it. This is probably the worst one. And I know we've said this a lot about other ones, but this is the worst one. I don't understand the theme. I don't get it. It just says CLE on it. Unless I'm missing something. I don't even think Guardian fans like it.
Not really.
Did I say Indians? I didn't say Indians, right?
Guardians.
Okay, good. I don't want to get canceled. This is an election year. I don't want to get canceled.
God.
Yeah, so, I mean, you have your diehards that are going to wear it, those diehard fans that'll wear anything Cleveland Guardians related, but I really think they dropped the ball on this one. Maybe I need to see it on the field, but I don't know. I just think I like the hats. They're cool. But you're really losing me on the jersey here. I think there was so much more they could have done with this.
100%.
Just put LeBron's face on the thing or something.
The one thing so I'm going to start this off with a little bit of positivity, right? I'm going to take a positive from this, and I'm going to say I absolutely love the way they kind of paid homage to the 90 Cleveland jerseys, right? So it really reminds me of the throwback jerseys, and I like that part. However, everything else that I have to say about it is negative. I don't like the design of the jersey. I don't think the navy goes very well with the white pants. The piping on the jersey only on the shoulders, I don't like that. If you're gonna put it on the shoulders, I also like it down the middle. But like you said, only having CLE across the front, they dropped the ball. They could have very easily put the land or Believeland.
Yes.
They could have done something. And for the fact that they dropped the ball on that, I think is just it's not good. Like, you got to pay into what the city is all about. And I like the lettering of Cleveland on the front of the jersey. I like how it has kind of like, so I'm looking at it right now, and it has the structural integrity of what the Guardians do on the bridge going into Cleveland. I like that part, and I'm really digging in the bottom of the barrel here to try to find some positives, because it's not. It's just it doesn't look clean. Like it doesn't look how I feel Cleveland should have won, and it's I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because of the whole, rebranding thing. They can't really dig too far back. We don't know that part. We don't know if they had stipulations on what these are supposed to look like. But from the naked eye and from what I'm looking at, they rub me the wrong way, and I don't like them at all. They're just they're not it. And I am fully 100% confident in saying that this is probably the worst City Connect jersey thus far. Now, of course, we saw the leaks for the Dodgers. We
Hey,
don't know.
hey, that's not
I mean, it
confirmed
looks
yet.
like that is correct, and that's why we're not going to go too far into it. But
Currently
it looks like
talking to
I
Dodgers brass right now to fix that.
looks like I put some confetti and I ate it and then threw it up and put it on a jersey.
Looks
That's
like
kind of
a
what it looks like.
looks like a Pop Tart. Don't wear that, please.
I
Don't.
will say this.
What are we, the
I
Clippers
think
now?
you I think you hit it on the head today when you posted on your story. You were eating a Pop Tart or whatever the hell
Oh,
you
that
were doing
wasn't
this
mine.
morning. Oh, okay. So you
That
you
wasn't
put a
mine.
picture of I believe that was a blueberry Pop Tart, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. See, I know my Pop Tarts, but you had that up and you put it up next to the Dodger uniform, and I think that was pretty good.
Thank you.
But
It
back to
got some
Cleveland.
laughs. I'll take that.
Yes, yes, I saw that. Back to
Oh.
Cleveland. I'm not going to go too much further into that. Back to Cleveland here. Um, no, I guess the only positive I can really say is the fact that I like how they paid homage to the '90s kind of jerseys, the throwbacks, and I also kind of like the structural integrity of what the columns look like and what the Guardian statues look like coming in from the bridge. That part's cool. Other than that, it's the worst City Connect, and I'm okay with saying that.
There you go. That's your little 5 minutes on the Guardians. Like I said, I like the hats. I like the
Yeah,
hats.
I mean
I like them.
they're clean. They're definitely clean. I like how they didn't go too crazy with it. Um, Honestly, I don't think they changed much at all, except for the front panel and the hat. Other than that,
Is it
it
safe to
looks
say now, since we've had a big enough sample size, that Nike kind of dropped the ball on these?
yeah, I think
I
so.
think we have a large enough sample size that Nike
Yeah,
kind of dropped the ball on all of these. Now there are
because
some
to be
good
honest,
ones. There are some good ones. I like the Colorado one. Believe it or not, I like the Anaheim. I like the Angels one.
mhm,
Believe it or not. I'm sure there's other ones that I can't think of right now, but
yeah,
overall they kind of dropped the ball on a lot of these.
I definitely agree with you, and it's also like the bad outweighs the good. There's only a select few of the City Connects that I do like. I still believe Cincinnati has the best. I love Cincinnati's. I think Chicago's is really
Yep.
good. The White Sox, that is. Um, I
I
think
like the Cubs one a little bit.
it's okay, but I definitely I will say this about the Cubs. I think they executed the the assignment. I
Way
really
good
think
though.
they did. I think that was good on their part.
I like the
Colorado, you hit
Nationals.
on the yes, but now see here's the thing though they're getting rid of it.
Exactly.
They're getting rid of one of the good ones, which doesn't make any sense to me. Colorado grew on me. I like that one. Anaheim's is nice.
What about Red Sox? You're not feeling that?
Absolutely not. No, I'm gonna be completely unbiased with that. I hate it. I'm sorry.
I don't want to mention. I really don't want to mention the team, but the Astros one is really good too.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'll
I
give
like
them
it.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Hurt me to
that's more of
say.
like that's like above average for me, maybe middle ground. That's where that lands for me. But no, you are 100% correct. I really think that they could have done a much better job with a lot of these city connects. So that's where my mind is on it, and Cleveland's just another one that they dropped the ball on.
All right, last thing, and we'll get out of here. Give me a couple. Give me your Yankees update. We gotta create this thing where it's like a meter, just to. And we gotta keep going up and down with it throughout the year. Where's the meter at right now with Kyle in like
Yeah.
in Yankee land?
So after their Baltimore series, which they lost 3 out of 4 to Baltimore. They went back home for two series against Detroit and Houston. They went 5-1 in that series. In those two series, they took two out of three against Tampa Bay in our last series, and now they're going off to Minnesota to take on the Twins. Right now, I'm happy as of now, but like we just mentioned, this meter is back and forth every week. It seems like. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I love the offense. The offense is putting up runs, which is something that has not happened a lot recently, and I have the perfect stat to prove it. So the Yankees' offensive ranks this year versus last year in 2023, they were over over 24th in all of the categories of runs, hits, RBIs, and OPS. This season, they're seventh in runs, which ranks first in the American League. They are seventh in hits, seventh in RBIs, which is second in the American League, and they are fourth in OPS, which is first in the American League. So when you look at this team and what Juan Soto and supporting cast has done to this offense, I think it's such a beautiful thing for Yankee fans. And Stanton's coming out of his shell more. He's looking good. Aaron Judge, for the guys who kept saying, this guy needs to go down to AAA, yeah, that's our captain we're talking about. Calm down. He's good now. He's on a roll. Juan Soto's doing his thing, and we're getting the supporting cast along with it. Oswaldo Cabrera has not slowed down at all. He's still doing his thing. Anthony Volpe has taken that sophomore leap, which I absolutely love to see. Rizzo's producing, and I say it every week, and I'm going to say it again this week. Alex Verdugo has been the sneakiest pickup by the Yankees this season, last offseason. He has done so, and he might not wow you in the offensive stats, but I'm going to tell you something. He's the best damn left fielder defensively that we've had in a very long time. And something that he is bringing to this team that we were lacking over the last few seasons is intensity in that dugout. He is getting guys involved. How you were talking about Teoscar Hernandez about the Dodgers, that's exactly what I'm talking about with Alex Verdugo. This dude is in that dugout day in and day out, and he is yelling. He's getting guys fired up. He's the first one to congratulate the guys coming back in after hitting a homer, after hitting a double, whatever it is. That means a lot to a club. And that's exactly what Alex Verdugo is bringing. And Marcus Stroman's doing the same damn thing. The pitching, it's been serviceable. Carlos Rodon looks okay. Nestor Cortez shit the bed again, but offense bailed him out, Clark Schmidt looks good. He still can't seem to go into the sixth inning without absolutely shitting the bed. Other than that, this team has been pretty good. And the biggest takeaway I want to take here, and my last final tidbit, is I want to talk about a guy who is not getting enough recognition, and that is Clay Holmes. This motherfucker, right? Excuse my language, but damn, he is nails every single time he comes out of that damn bullpen. So, just as a quick little thing on Clay Holmes here, he is 1-0 on the season and has yet to give up an earned run, and has 12 saves to go along with it across his 17.1 innings pitched. This guy had, like I said, he's been nails, but the one nickname that he has been given by the Yankee universe is Cardiac Clay, and there's a good reason for it.
Okay.
Because the ERA is at 0 right now, but damn has he gotten close from blowing these fucking games. I'm going to tell you that. Holy shit, every time he comes out of that bullpen, you are on your edge of your seat. You would think to a non-Yankee fan, like, oh, it's Clay Holmes. He's good. He's got it locked down. I'm freaking the hell out. I'm on the edge of my seat watching these Yankee games in a close game because Clay Holmes, although been nails and doing his thing, has been giving us heart attacks basically every single time he comes out of the bullpen. But like I said, I have to give props where props are due, and that man has saved us probably a good 8 to 10 games on the year, very easily. Okay. We could have been in a completely different situation. Clay Holmes has been that guy, and It's nice to see. It is so nice to see a closer actually being able to close out games. Because Yankee fans have been spoiled when it comes to closers. We have the greatest one of all time. So after that, it was extremely hard to top Mariano Rivera. So it's nice to see Clay Holmes doing his thing, and I hope he continues. And that is all I have on my Yankees for the week.
There you go. Couldn't have said it any better. Like I
Not
said,
at all.
we'll keep a tab, update it. We'll see how. I really want to see. Kind of want to start seeing this go the other way. To be honest with you.
We're gonna have to start making like a Excel sheet or some shit, like
Yeah.
a graph. It's gonna
Yo.
we're gonna have to
Oh
see a
yeah.
lot of ways.
I think we're gonna have to start doing that. Yeah.
I mean, you think about this, right? When we started doing this, you are putting two guys on a podcast who is a Yankee fan and a Dodger fan, right? You got the two most toxic fan bases in all of baseball. You're gonna see some sort of back and forth energy between the two of us, and I
Absolutely.
think that's what makes it interesting.
Absolutely. 100% agree. It goes hand in hand. So there you go. Episode 76 in the books. Unless you got anything else, that's it. I think.
I do not. That is all.
All right, Dodgers, keep doing what you're doing. We get back at it. Homestand beginning Thursday. Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night. First day back. Oh, that's
Oh,
gonna be a lot of people.
hey.
A lot of people, and I am paying for the bobblehead. Not gonna say how much it is. Just know that more than half of you would probably be out on the number. It's okay.
Oh,
It's worth it. It's worth it.
oh, 100%.
It's worth it. All right. We'll see you again next week. Adios.
Later.